Good morning, everyone. I hope you enjoy this beautiful day. It's spring in Australia, and I wanted to share you how I usually record observations or any important notes. So I use diaries. So when I think about education of children, I usually have notes, so which are jotings. So for example, I write Daisy, James, Claire, continue. Being interested in experiments. Shay has a cast on his right arm. We played outdoor game. Who stole the cookie from the cookie jar? So this is a really good way to plan. So you can add whatever notes you have, reflection. And recipes. The only problem was that it wasn't very organized. So I found this diary. Victorian Weekly Programming and Reflection Diary. The diary is specifically tailored to Australian early childhood education and care, Victorian educators. So there is one that is generic, so I haven't tried this one yet, but this one is 6 months version as well. And here is what I did with it. So I created mock-up planning based on previous experiences that I've done with children over the years. So for example, you can see here that they have the topics that will be explored this week. Sensory play. Then you write planning notes, ideas, introduce rules about packing up, sustainability concept, engaging with natural sensory materials. And as you can see here, we have EYLF, in this case Victorian Framework Outcomes. We also have days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, etc., up to Friday. And we have interesting structure. So you can reorganize this structure in your own way if you want. But I think I would definitely edit some of the subheadings here. But it's, generically speaking, it's not bad. So for example, there are stories and songs here, and I added there was an old lady who swallowed a fly. And then you can link it to outcome 5.2, which is like a reference here. Art, craft, cooking, making your own Play-Doh. If you have pictures, you can add pictures here. For example, this is moon sand in, I would say, sensory play. But also we made it together with children, so it's cooking. Farm animals outside, natural grass, outcome 3.1. Bell meditation, so under mindfulness, role play, sensory. I would have probably planned experience, spontaneous experiences, possibilities, some different types, but I guess for my students who are doing certificate 3 diploma, this way to start planning is actually very good, using areas. For example, this is group learning, intentional teaching, so I was teaching let's say about sun smart hats and water bottles. And this would link to outcomes 3.2. Children's spontaneous choices. So here you write any jotings about children. For example, rocket, role play, I am going to fly into the space. And then here we have outdoor experiences or any observations that you notice. For example, could be a bird visited and children were interested. Sandpit cooking is a big thing. Mud kitchen. So yeah, here I did try to fill in the whole page, so that's like a week, which would be very handy for educators. And what I really liked was the week's moments of reflection. I think reflection was something that I had diary for, and here you can actually review the concepts that you already had last week. So you can say something like, it was difficult week, it was productive week, full of interesting discoveries, children are still settling in and learning about the routines. You can talk about goals, whether you achieved them or not, in line with EYLF outcomes that you set up. Intentional teaching, you can list here what learning experiences did you cover. It's not a lot, but you can kind of be succinct here. And just generically speaking, plan and reflect. So this promotes reflective thinking, ongoing learning, definitely. You have professional inquiry. Here you put all questions that you might have about children's behavior, your teaching strategies, how do I how can I? So how to maintain, set up routines? How do I make routines flexible? What language will I use to promote kindness? And then you can add pictures or notes about changes to environment. For example, if you edit light table, that's a new equipment. Here you write any family input, and this is a mock-up, of course, but based on my previous experience with children. Let's say Claire's mom said that they have a family dog and it's her favorite pet, or Travis' mom told me about his birthday on the weekend. So yeah, this kind of diaries are very, very good and important. Here you can make more specific observations, or at least jot down what you observed. Then you can write about routines and transitions. Is there anything that works? Is there anything you want to introduce? For example, I remember I wanted to introduce washing brushes after painting for preschool children, so that might be something to consider. And then extension planning. What are you going to do next week? So I was going to bring my puppet, old lady who swallowed the sea, and here is a picture and explanation why for the group time. So here you also can add more of the documentation. So it's not like as A3 planning program I've seen in many centers, or even A2 or posters. It's not story park, but I think for educator who is room leader, planning like this would be amazing. So yeah, you have reflective notes here for the whole month, which also is quite good. At the beginning there was what I really liked was important information, some important contacts. I found this very useful, and also some important term dates, so especially if you're working in kindergarten, and professional developmental summary. What is important as well is to have access to EYLF. Yeah, I know a lot of people do tick and flick exercise, but if you want to incorporate these outcomes into your goals, this is very, very handy. So all in all, I really liked this diary, and when I will become a room leader kindergarten teacher again, I will definitely use it. Also, I got this wonderful pen from the company, and here we go. We have some outcomes here on one side, which is also very handy, and some keywords that you might use, descriptive words, very, very good for observations. For example, sometimes you get stuck about how to say children are happy, so you can say amused, blissful, bright, cheerful, seemed delighted, ecstatic, enthusiastic. So these are really, really good resources for educators. So I highly recommend it. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you like this video.